As you can tell by the title of this episode, this is the last episode of the I Almost Died podcast. This has been my baby for the past year, I have to say. I've truly loved doing it, and I know there's probably a lot of confusion on like what's happening, why this is ending. And I realize it's like really abrupt, and you guys probably weren't expecting this. So I guess like I'll use this last amount of time we have together to like let you guys know what happened. So basically, this podcast, when it started, we were gonna go for about a year and then see kind of like where it's at and how many people listen and how many people like it. And once a year there's this big podcasting convention that everyone goes to, all the podcaster people and everything. And I know like this sounds like a joke, like April Fools, but like that was a week ago, so this is real, unfortunately. Everyone goes to this big podcast convention once a year, and basically, there's so many podcasts out there. There's so many random people just like talking and thinking that they have the right to have a podcast. Like you open TikTok and there's like clips from some random guys, like literally 3 random white dudes sitting around just talking about like their favorite beer. And at these conventions, they kind of decide, okay, who really deserves a podcast? Who is like worthy of being able to rant for an hour? Because there's such limited time. Like no one has time to listen to every single podcast in the world. Like it's crazy. So at these conventions, I almost didn't go because I was like so anxious. But at these conventions, basically, it's almost like the Hunger Games. So everyone who runs a podcast, we are placed into like these arenas, and we basically have to fight to the death to like secure our podcast place. Basically, the winners of this, it's brutal. I don't understand how this is happening in 2022. It's sick and it's twisted, but we have to fight to the death to keep our podcasts. So I saw so many people die. And I know it's ironic because my podcast is I Almost Died, but you guys, as you know, there's a lot of new people doing podcasts, okay? Like, Lovely Peaches has a podcast. Noah Beck has a podcast. I saw Lovely Peaches devour someone whole. She was fighting her opponent, literally killed them, and then ate each limb, like, as a meal. It was... I still have nightmares about it. And I saw freaking Noah Beck. He was like fighting. He just took out 10 people. Like he picked up this spear and just ran. And like there went Brittany Broski. There went freaking like all these like really really good podcasters. He just took out. They're dead now. And so he gets to keep his podcast. But anyways, it got to me, and I got scared and I ran, and I knew I can't do that or I'll lose my podcast, but I jumped over the fence and they disqualified me. And so I guess I'm lucky that I'm sitting here today and I survived the podcast convention, but guys, they're taking the podcast. So this is the last episode. This is the last episode though, but ooh, I know y'all are on the edge of your seats. You're probably thinking, "Oh my god, I cannot believe the podcast industry is this cutthroat and horrible. We can't be supporting this." Hi. I think I mentioned 2 episodes ago that I had some big news for y'all, but I didn't say what it was. Well, this is that news. So this is the very last episode of the I Almost Died podcast. As we know it. What does that mean? Oh my gosh. Now, before y'all all freak out, cry, and become dehydrated because you cried so much, I will be seeing y'all next Wednesday, same place, same time. But things are going to be a little bit different, okay? So, when I started this podcast, I really believed in my head that I had enough near-death stories and near-death experiences to last me eternity. Now, realistically, how many times am I actually coming close to death? More than the average person, I will admit. We had I think the first 20 episodes were almost exclusively my near-death experiences, which is crazy. Now that I think of it, no one should be in that much danger, but somehow I was, and it made for a lot of good content. Another thing was I was gonna have guests on the podcast. Only ended up having one, my friend Emmy, because it was very much COVID for most of this podcast, and B, I'm a little bit of a social recluse. I'm a popular loner. But no, I've never, I don't even think, I'm gonna be real with you, I don't even think I ever tried once to get someone on my podcast. No, that's a lie. There was a few people that I reached out to, but it didn't work out. I can't remember for what reason. But basically, I kind of came to terms with the fact that the format of the podcast is a little outdated, okay? As y'all noticed, the past 30 episodes, I very rarely talked about near-death experiences. One fun thing we did do was have the hashtag I Almost Died podcast hashtag, and y'all would submit your stories. I always love reading those. But that was about as far as we could take it with that theme. And also, there were some things that I would want to talk about, which just being welcome to the I Almost Died podcast. Today we're going to talk about how much I love making salads. That doesn't make any sense. It makes no dang sense to anyone. So, I thought to myself, how can we, what is more on brand for A, what I want to talk about, and B, what I have been talking about? And I don't even know if I want to give it away. I kind of want it to be a surprise. But basically, next Wednesday, things will look a lot different. Not too different. Don't freak out. It's still me. But it's going to be a little bit of a different situation. It's going to be better though. I promise you that. We kind of just we were just wandering aimlessly through the podcast section of Spotify at this point, with the themes. Why would I literally start the I Almost Died podcast and be today I'm going to talk about how I lost my virginity? What? Unless we were baking cookies, if you know what I mean, and then I started getting stabbed, that would make sense, but, that's not what happened. So, basically, over the past few months, I've been thinking, what is a good theme for this podcast that perfectly encapsulates what we talk about? And I've landed on it. And over the past few weeks and over a month, I've been working the details, finalizing things, planning things. I have a really exciting thing. We're going to be doing a live taping of this podcast at VidCon. So come on down to that if you want to see that. But it's ready. Is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I just freaking meandered again. It is ready. Next Wednesday, we're ready. And I'm very excited to start this new chapter, a new journey with you all. And, okay, at first I was like, oh my gosh. Sorry, I thought I was playing with a shoe with my feet. Because I don't know, I'm very tactile. I need, like, a fidget thing. But I was just kicking the tripod, which is so good. So if y'all just started shaking, no, there was not an earthquake. I just can't focus. But I was thinking, like, oh my god, I feel like such a quitter. Like, I can't just stick with it. Like, come on. But then I reminded myself, like, there's lots of people with podcasts that, change it up, switch it up. For example, I guess the best example of this would be Emma Chamberlain's podcast. She started off with it being called, like, Stupid Genius. And I think it was, like, very, like, science and, like, fact-oriented. Listen, I'm not the biggest Emma Chamberlain stan, but I know she's not a scientist. So she changed hers to Anything Goes, which is what it is now, where she can pretty much just, like, talk about anything. And that is very similar to what I want to do with this podcast. But it is still going to be very focused, okay? Because if I just named the podcast Ramble Bamble, I don't know, something like that, and there was literally no direction and no guide, oh my god, y'all would actually be taking forks, like metal forks, and stabbing your eardrums out every single week, because I would just rant about the most random things. So I'm having some discipline and some self-control, and I'm not going to let my mind run. And I have a concept nailed down, and I'll tell y'all. Will I tell y'all? Oh, I still don't know. No, I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all this episode. What am I pretending like I'm sitting on, like, the new Harry Styles album or something for? Like, I'm guarding this with my life. Like this is, like, the dang nuclear codes to, like, freaking take out Putin. Like, no. Like, no, this is literally my podcast. This is a random TikToker's podcast. But I'm sad for no reason at all. It makes no sense to be sad, because podcasts, we're not even missing any time. Like, I'm not even taking a break. Mama's like, we're just going. We're just going and going. Like, y'all, there will not be any lost time at all. But still, I'm sad. And I don't know why. I was just so iconic. And it took my mom, like, a month to figure out how to use, like, her Apple Podcast app to watch this. And now, I was gonna say now she has to figure out how to find the new one, but it's literally gonna be the same thing. Like, we're just changing the name and a few other things. So, like, don't even worry about it. But anyways, I want to do, like, a quick farewell to this podcast. I must say, this podcast is one of the most enjoyable parts of my time on the internet. The connection I feel like I have with y'all is so strong. Like, hearing your guys' comments about each episode and stuff is literally, it's so much. It feels like we have such a tight knit little family, and I love it so much. Which is why I like literally could not give it up. Like, if they were like, okay, show's canceled, I would be whipping out the microphone and I'd be uploading this to Facebook if I had to. So I'm incredibly grateful, and seeing, like, how it's grown from, like, when I first started to, like, seeing how many of y'all come back each week to, like, hang out with me is literally the sweetest thing ever. I love you all so freaking much. And it's just really nice to have a place to, like, just, because as y'all know, my TikToks and YouTube videos are very edited. And it's nice to just hang out with y'all in a very casual, calm environment. So without further ado, I love that my nose is getting plugged right now. Without further ado, I will reveal to you what the new podcast will be. Oh, y'all were thinking I was going to have, like, a banner, or, like, the walls of my room would, like, fall down to, like, reveal, like, a giant thing that said the name of it. No! I will post a trailer before the next episode, or before the first episode comes out, so it's like something. I'm giving y'all something. But I Almost Died is done. So I want to welcome you all next Wednesday. I want to personally, cordially invite you to the Drama Mama podcast. Ooh, it's got a ring to it. You can't even deny it's got a ring to it. It flows like butter on your tongue. Yes, it does. So you might be thinking, I'm a mama, and I love drama. What does this mean for me? Basically, you might have noticed on this podcast, even though it was I Almost Died, I love talking about drama. And I truly believe, and this is kind of similar to the belief that I had when I started the I Almost Died podcast, but I believe that everyone has their own drama, and everyone, whether they like to admit it or not, likes to listen to drama. And overall, it's just fun to talk about, and I feel like as humans, we shouldn't deprive ourselves of this natural phenomenon, okay? Now, I say this was kind of like the I Almost Died podcast because when I started, I was like, oh my gosh, everyone has a near-death experience. But that's like a one-off thing, you know? You might be walking from the grocery store and then almost get hit by a car, and then that's like the one brush with death you have for your whole life. So, like, not much to go off with there. But drama? That's everywhere. It's truly everywhere. It really makes the world go round. Now, you're probably thinking, like, Ben, do you have any drama in your life at all? We have never seen you with any friends. Aside from, like, 2. So, like, what drama could you possibly have? Oh, have I been sitting on some drama for y'all? And not just me. Listen, I know I'm acting like the whole entire universe revolves around me. No. I could fall into a manhole, like in the movie. Why does that not sound like the right word? Manhole. That's the thing in roads with the metal lid, and then, like, it opens up into the sewer, right? Manhole. Why does that not sound real? That sounds made up, right? Am I tripping? Anyways, I could fall into a manhole and drop off the face of the earth and things would carry along. So, I'm not just going to be talking about my drama. We're going to be talking about the whole world's drama, babies. The whole world has drama. Now, whether that be TikToker drama, which is plenty. There's plenty of that to talk about. Hollywood drama. Oh my goodness. Did y'all hear Will Smith? Just kidding. We are actually not going to add the 13 billionth think piece about Will Smith hitting Chris Rock at the Oscars. No, we are not. We're going to find fresh drama. That is like a moldy Subway tuna. And what we're going to be talking about is like fresh sirloin steak. Is sirloin good? Filet mignon steak. That just goes to show how much I actually know about meat. Definitely didn't even pronounce that correctly. And not even just that. No. I will be asking you guys for your own personal drama. And I will try and help you through it, okay? I'm a licensed idiot. And if you need therapy, I'm not the person to go to. But I will help you. I will give my opinions and my super qualified thoughts on any drama that you guys might have. I'll think of a real witty hashtag for you to submit some. You know what? We'll just think of now. Hashtag Drama Mama Podcast. Got such a ring to it. I really struck gold with that name. I can't even lie. I don't even hype myself up much, but Drama Mama, yeah. That's a little bit close to like the happy. This is the elephant in the room. The freaking video. I don't even know where that's from. Was that like a Vine? It was like happy llama, sad llama, mentally disturbed llama, big fat drama llama. It sounds very close to Drama Mama. I just want to put it out there. Whoever made that up, please don't sue me. Did y'all see Ed Sheeran is getting sued because someone accused him of copying a song? That's funny. The thought of Ed Sheeran in a courtroom cracks me up endlessly to no extent. Oh my. So, I'm very excited. And I don't want y'all to think that I haven't been enjoying this podcast, because truly, like I said, this has been like probably my favorite part of like all the things I do on social media and the internet. It's just so good to connect with y'all and feel so like we have such a family here, because we do, and you're part of it, and you can't leave. You can't even call Child Protective Services on yourself, because I've got you in my grip. That was scary. Whoa, where did that come from? I don't know. But if you have any juicy drama, any type of drama, please tweet it to me using the hashtag DramaMamaPodcast on Twitter. My Twitter is @BenOfTheWeek. If you tag me in it, I will see it easier. Oh my gosh. And you know what? We'll even do an episode down the line where we get near-death experiences too, because I will get nostalgic. A thing about me is I cannot stand, like, permanency. Permanency freaks me the frick out. Like, knowing that people can die and just never come back. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Knowing that, like, time just goes in one direction. That's what makes you bad. Okay, sorry. And you can't go backwards. Like, that moment, me just hitting that chair will never happen again. Well, it did. That's a stupid example. But, no, I hate when things are like forever. Like, this is the last episode ever. Like, no, we'll have the theme day. So don't even worry about it. And best believe I'm still going to be getting into near-death experiences. Like, don't even worry about it. I am always in grave danger. You don't even have to worry about that. But honestly, I feel like near-death experiences kind of sometimes fit in the category of, like, drama. It's dramatic. I'll share one last near-death experience. I really do feel like I've said every single thing that's ever happened to me that has involved me almost dying. But this is kind of a crazy story. Just the other day, my neighbor literally got murdered. Like, what? I think it was 8 episodes ago when I talked about how I have had so many neighbors around me die. I'm starting to think I literally need to go live in a hut in the middle of the wilderness where no one is around me, so that no one is in danger, because I genuinely think it's me at this point. So I don't know the details, but my mom told me that there was a bunch of police cars outside the neighbor's house. And in Canada, like, it's not like in the US where, like, the police just, like, it's weird. Like, the police in the US just, like, release all information. Sorry, I'm sweating so much. What is going on? Like, police are super transparent with, like, every crime that happens, but in Canada, that's very much not the case. Like, you can't just listen to, like, a police radio or anything, and, like, police don't, like, talk to the press, something like that. I don't know. But, it was revealed by, like, either a friend or a family member on, like, this, like, Facebook group that it was a homicide. Literal neighbor. Just to refresh your memory, this is the fourth time that this has happened. Growing up, my neighbors did a murder-suicide. Then in high school, wait, I'm missing one. Hold up. I lost it. In high school, the house I walked past, a guy, I don't even want to say it. It's, like, so dark. Wow, love that we're just, like, we're really ending this podcast on a bang. Literally, he shot his daughter and then himself. And then there's another one that I'm forgetting, which is so handy and convenient. But then this happened too. And these are all in Canada, which I don't understand. And it really makes you think, like, it can happen, like, I mean, I don't want to say this, like, freak anyone out, because there's really nothing you can do, but, like, it can happen anywhere. And all of these were, like, isolated incidents, I guess. Like, they were all deaths that happened from, like, within the home. So it was, like, a relative or a family member or, like, husband who, like, did these crimes. But I feel like the average person hasn't had 4 neighbors die in not pretty ways, in literal murder ways. So that was just a little sprinkle I wanted to share with y'all on the episode. Don't know what to make of that. What I'm looking forward to with the new podcast is we can be a little bit lighter, okay? I want it to be a lot more fun. I feel like we get really dark on this podcast sometimes. We'll be like, we'll be like, I'm going to Coachella. And then the next episode is like, I was bullied my whole life. I hate my life. Pretty privileges beginning the downfall of American society. Like, we don't need to be doing that every single day. We will still have, as you know, like with drama, there can be difficult talks to have about some certain situations. And those will come up, mamas. But overall, I think it's going to be a lot more bubbly and fun. So, once again, I really just want to, I can't stress enough how grateful I feel for you guys that you all have stuck around. Because genuinely, also, like when this podcast started for a year, like it was only supposed to go for a year, and the studio I'm with renewed it. Thanks to y'all. We got the renewal, baby. Like, I know I made the joke about the podcast arena, but didn't have to be renewed, but they did. So, live, laugh, love. So truly thank you from the bottom of my heart for, if this is the first time you're listening, or if you've listened to like all over 50 episodes, I think it's like almost 60, over 60 episodes. That is insane. I'm so grateful for you, and I love you so much. And I'm very excited to begin this new journey. Ew, it sounds like we're getting married. To begin this new journey together. You may now kiss the bride. See, like, was that necessary? That really was not necessary. But I guess just be on the lookout. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Ben of the Week to see when some updates come out, and also subscribe to the channel, which for now is I Almost Died, but will change very soon. We'll switch over. So please subscribe to that if you haven't already. Hopefully we can get to 100K subscribers and get a little plaque. Good thing we didn't hit it before the switchover. Imagine I get the plaque and it's like the I Almost Died podcast, but then it's like changed. So go subscribe to that. We're very close to 100K, which is crazy. And I'll see y'all next Wednesday. Oh, I literally don't want to hit the end button, because then that's it. Like, the I Almost Died podcast is done. Like, that, it's over. It's done. I was gonna be really dramatic and like do a whole montage of me like turning off the lights in the studio, taking down my green screen. No, that's stupid. I'll see y'all next Wednesday. I love you all so much. I died. Ben of the Week gets chilled.